Hey everyone, welcome back to English Podcast for You. I'm Leo, and as always, I'm joined by my favorite partner in crime, Lily. How are you doing today, Lily?
Oh, I'm doing great, Leo. Just had an extra large coffee, so I am ready to dive into today's topic. And honestly, it's a topic that hits really close to home for me.
I bet. We're talking about training your mouth to speak English fluently in 30 days. It sounds intense, doesn't it? Like a boot camp.
A little bit, yeah. But when I think about how I started learning, I spent years just reading textbooks. I had all the grammar rules in my head, but the moment a foreigner asked me a simple question, I froze. My brain went completely blank.
Wait, really? Even you?
Oh, absolutely. And I know so many listeners feel the exact same way. They know the words, but the mouth just won't cooperate. It's like your brain and your mouth are speaking two different languages.
That's actually the perfect analogy. It's like learning piano. You can watch all the theory videos you want, but if you never touch the keys, your fingers won't know where to go. Your mouth is a muscle, Lily.
Exactly, a muscle. And like any muscle, if you don't exercise it, it stays weak. We spend so much time listening and writing, but speaking, that's a real-time activity. You can't pause a real conversation to look up a word, can you?
Right, and that fear, that's the real barrier. I remember when I first tried to practice with tourists, I was so embarrassed. I'd say something wrong, they'd look confused, and I just want to disappear.
I think we've all been there. But here's the secret. You have to make those mistakes to get better. If you stay silent to avoid being wrong, you're just staying stuck. Silence is a habit, Leo, a dangerous one.
That's such a powerful point. And for our listeners, I want to emphasize this. The English you have right now, it's enough to start. You don't need a vocabulary of 1,000 words to begin. You just need to start using what you have.
Yes, like the story of Daniel, the guy who started recording himself for 5 minutes every day.
Oh, I love that story. It's so relatable. He didn't have a fancy tutor, didn't have money for classes. He just used his phone.
And in the beginning, he hated his own voice. I think everyone feels that way the first time they listen to their own recording. It's so cringy, right?
It really is. Do I really sound like that?
But that's the key. He didn't record to judge himself. He recorded to see his mistakes. He realized, oh, I keep stopping here, or I keep repeating that word. Once you see the pattern, you can fix it.
Exactly. So for the next 30 days, we're proposing a challenge. No excuses. Who's ready for the first 10 days?
Me. Let's break it down for them. The first 10 days are all about just speaking. 10 minutes every morning. Just talk about your day, your plans, your feelings. Don't worry about being perfect. Just talk.
Even if it's just, I woke up at 7, I am tired, I need coffee.
Especially the I need coffee part, because you're using the language, right? You're moving your mouth. That's the training.
And at night, 2 or 3 minutes to record your thoughts. Then listen back. Don't stop even if you feel shy.
It's going to feel strange at first. You'll want to switch back to your native language when you get stuck, but don't. Stay in English. Struggle a little. That struggle is where the growth happens.
It's just like a child learning to speak. They make mistakes, they go slow, but they never give up. We're just teaching our adult brains to do the same thing.
And remember, it's not about having a perfect accent. It's about communication. If you can get your idea across, you've succeeded.
Who cares if your TH sound isn't perfect?
Exactly. I mean, I've met people who worry so much about their accent that they just don't speak at all. It's like you're so focused on the sound that you're losing the message.
Right. It's funny because when I talk to my friends from other countries, I'm never judging their accents. I'm just happy we're actually communicating. I think we put way too much pressure on ourselves to sound like a news anchor.
Total pressure. And that's the perfect bridge into the next stage of our 30-day plan. So you've survived the first 10 days of recording yourself. You're getting used to the sound of your own voice, right? Now, from day 11 to 20, we level up.
Shadowing. I love this part. This is where it gets really fun.
It is, and for our listeners who haven't heard the term, shadowing is basically just listening and repeating immediately. Like you take a short podcast or a video, keep it to maybe 3 minutes, and you listen to one sentence, pause, and then repeat it.
But not just the words, right? You have to copy the melody.
Yes, that's the most important part. Copy the speed, the rhythm, the stress. If the speaker says, I really want to go home, you don't just say the words, you copy that emphasis on really.
I remember the first time I tried shadowing in my room. I felt like a total parrot. I felt so silly mimicking someone else's voice.
We've all felt that way. It's a bit weird at first, but that's actually good. Feeling silly means you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone.
It's just like learning a song, isn't it? You don't just read the lyrics to a song to learn it, you sing along. You have to hear the tune. Shadowing does that for your English.
Spot on. It trains your ear and your mouth at the same time. A lot of people understand English because they've read it, but their mouth just isn't used to those specific movements. Shadowing fixes that physical gap.
So, how long should they be doing this for?
About 20 minutes a day is perfect, and don't stop the first habit. Keep doing those recordings too.
Really? Even with the shadowing? Won't that be too much?
It sounds like a lot, but think about it. If you want to see real change in 30 days, you have to be consistent. It's 20 minutes of active practice. You can do that while you're walking or while you're getting ready in the morning.
That's true. It's just making it part of your routine. And then, once you hit day 21, that's when it gets scary, but also the most rewarding.
Exactly. The final 10 days. This is where you actually have to talk to a human.
Yeah, that's the part that makes everyone's heart race, isn't it?
It is, but you don't need a native speaker. You don't need a professional teacher. You just need another person who is also learning.
Right. Just find someone online, join a forum, or even just call a friend who's learning English too.
Exactly. And don't prepare a speech, just talk. Ask, hey, what did you do today? Or what's your favorite movie? Simple stuff.
And when you mess up or you forget a word, you'll probably both end up laughing.
And that's okay. Laughing is great. It means you're relaxed. And when you're relaxed, your brain actually works better.
I think the biggest takeaway here is that you're not an English learner who is failing. You're someone who is in the process of becoming fluent. It's a journey, not a destination.
Yes, and by day 30, it won't feel like such a struggle anymore. It'll just feel natural. Maybe not perfect, but natural. And that's all you need.
It really is a journey. You know, I was looking at some of our listener comments the other day, and so many of them say the same thing. I understand everything you guys are saying, but when I try to reply, my mind just goes blank.
Oh, that is so common. It's that gap between understanding and producing. And you know what? That's exactly what the final stage of our 30-day challenge is designed for?
The real-life connection. By day 21, you've trained your mouth, you've trained your ears, and now you're just putting it into action.
Exactly. And honestly, Leo, I think the reason people feel that blank mind is just because they're waiting for the perfect sentence. They're searching for the exact right word, but in real conversation, you don't have time for that.
No, you definitely don't. If I waited for the perfect sentence every time I talk to you, we'd be sitting here in complete silence for hours.
We really would, and that's the beauty of it. When you're talking to a partner, you learn how to describe things when you don't know the exact word. If you forget the word umbrella, you just say, that thing you hold when it's raining.
That's such a great skill. It's called circumlocution, right? Using simple words to explain a complex idea. It's actually more important than having a giant vocabulary.
Yes, because real communication is about ideas, not just vocabulary lists. People don't care if your grammar is textbook perfect. They care about connecting with you.
Exactly. And that's the magic of these last 10 days. You start to realize that you don't need to be a native speaker to be a great communicator. You just need to be clear.
And I think it's important to talk about those days when you just don't want to practice.
Oh, for sure. We all have those days. You're tired, you had a long day at work, and the last thing you want to do is record your voice or talk in English.
And it's okay to have those days, but even on the hard days, just doing one sentence is better than doing nothing.
Yes, even if it's just, today was a hard day and I am tired. That is practice.
Because consistency beats perfection every single time. If you only practice when you feel 100% motivated, you'll never get anywhere. But if you practice even when you're tired, that's when you build the habit.
I think I need to remind myself of that more often. I'm always like, I'll start when I have more energy, and then, surprise, surprise, I never have more energy.
We've all been there. It's the tomorrow trap. But you don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to spend an hour every day. Just start small.
So, for everyone listening, don't wait for the perfect moment. There isn't one. The perfect moment is just the one where you decide to say that first sentence.
And hey, why not make that sentence right now? Say it out loud. Even if you're on the bus or doing the dishes, just say, I am going to speak English fluently.
Do it. I'm doing it too. I am going to keep practicing.
See, we're all in this together.
It really is a community, isn't it? Knowing that thousands of other people are doing this exact same challenge makes it feel less lonely.
Absolutely. And that's what this podcast is all about. We're all learning, we're all making mistakes, and we're all getting a little bit better every day.
Okay, we've covered the 30-day plan. We've talked about the mindset. What else should our listeners keep in mind?
Just one more thing. Remember that you are not a person who can't speak English. You are a person who is in the process of learning. That shift in how you see yourself changes everything.
I love that. It's not about what you like, it's about what you're building.
And we are so excited to be part of that building process with you.
It really is a shift, isn't it? Changing the story you tell yourself. Instead of, I'm bad at English, it's, I'm currently training my mouth to be better. It sounds like a small change, but it feels massive when you say it out loud.
It changes the energy entirely. And you know, Leo, thinking back to when I started, I used to watch these high-level TED Talks and get so discouraged. I'd think, I'll never sound like that.
Oh, me too. I used to listen to native speakers and think, how are they talking so fast? They're like eating the words.
Exactly, they are eating the words. And that's the thing. Real, fluent English is often messy. It's not the perfectly enunciated sentences from a textbook. It's contractions, it's connected speech, it's pauses.
That's a great point. I think a lot of learners try to speak with this very formal, stiff tone because that's what they think proper English sounds like. But that makes it so much harder to be fluent.
Right. If you try to speak like a robot, you're never going to feel natural. You have to let your personality come through. Even if your grammar isn't perfect, if your personality is there, people will listen.
That reminds me of the importance of storytelling. You don't have to talk about boring topics to practice. Talk about your favorite movie. Talk about why you're annoyed with the weather today. Talk about your childhood.
Exactly. I remember when I first started talking to myself in the shower, which is still my favorite place to practice, by the way, I would just narrate my day. Now I am putting on shampoo. Now I am rinsing my hair.
That's hilarious. But you know what? It works. It bridges the gap between your thoughts and your speech.
It really does, because in your head you have all these complex thoughts, but you can't get them out. By narrating simple things, you're training your brain to think in English, not just translate from your native language.
Instead of translating. That's one of the biggest hurdles, isn't it? The mental translation. It's like having an extra step in your brain that slows you down.
It's like having a slow translator sitting in your head whispering the wrong words to you. You have to tell that translator to take a vacation. Just let the English come out, even if it's wrong.
And the more you do it, the more you just let the sounds flow, the faster that translator disappears.
It's all about trust. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust that your brain knows the words, even if your mouth is a little slow right now.
You know, Lily, I think some of our listeners might be worried about the 30-day part. Like, what if I don't reach full fluency in 30 days? Did I fail?
Oh, that's such a good question. Let's be clear. You won't be a native level speaker in 30 days. That's not the goal. The goal is to build the habit and to cross that first major bridge.
Exactly. It's about momentum. After 30 days, you won't be at the finish line, but you'll be so much further than you are today. You'll have the tools, the routine, and most importantly, the confidence to keep going.
And once you have that confidence, you're unstoppable, because then you're practicing not to fix your English. You're practicing because you enjoy the process of communicating.
That's the dream, isn't it? To get to a point where English isn't a chore, but just another way to experience the world.
It really is, and it's a beautiful thing to experience.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today. The shadowing, the recording, the partner practice, the mindset shift. I feel like I'm ready to start a 30-day challenge all over again.
Let's do it. We can be each other's accountability partners.
Deal.
You're on. I'll be your first accountability partner. But seriously, Leo, looking back at where we started the conversation today, it's amazing how much we've packed in.
It really is.
It's funny, when people hear 30 days, they think it's a long time. But when you're actually doing the work, the 5 minutes in the morning, the quick recording at night, the time just flies by.
It does, and that's the best part, right? It's not about finding 2 hours a day to study grammar books. It's about these tiny 5-minute slices of time that you squeeze into your actual life.
Exactly. It's about integration, making English something you do, not just something you study.
And for everyone listening to English Podcast for You, we want to hear how it's going. Seriously, record a little message or send us a comment. Let us know if you tried the 5-minute recording trick. We'd love to know how your first few days felt.
Yes, please do. And if you felt silly or awkward, which you definitely will, remember that's just the sound of progress. Don't be afraid to sound a little bit crazy in your room.
It's the sound of a muscle growing.
Before we sign off, I just want to say thank you to all our listeners. Thank you for spending time with us. Whether you're listening while you commute, or while you're at the gym, or just relaxing at home, we're so honored to be part of your journey.
We really are. Your voice matters, and the world wants to hear what you have to say. So keep opening your mouth, keep making those mistakes, and keep going.
That's right. We'll be right here waiting for you in the next episode. Until then, stay curious, keep practicing, and remember, one sentence at a time.
See you all next time. Bye for now.
Bye.